correspond with certain type error messages. They give you, in your book, a chart of those. Of can we not reach the network we were trying to reach or the host we were trying to reach? Does that protocol not exist out there? Is that not one that that machine recognizes? Maybe we can find the machine, but it doesn't recognize our protocol. So you can have a number of things that are going to fail for you. If a router determines there's a better route for sending stuff, it will send out an ICMP message that tells the other routers to redirect their messages that there's a better route to get there. Just like somebody standing out there and detouring you around, that there's a better, more efficient way to go to get to another place. The time exceeded one. Remember when we looked at these things before, we talked about, as we talked about the frames, and we talked about time to live on our frames and packets. Here comes back to that time to live, that TTL. What happened when it gets exceeded? It got out there and a router says, okay, you've gone too long. Either that it's counted down to 0, or its time has been exceeded, whichever way it's counting its time. Okay? What it's going to turn around and do is send back to the device that it was sent from. And remember it in the book there inside the packet. And tell where did it come from. It's going to send back a time exceeded message and tell it that packet that you sent out has been dropped because the time to live got exceeded. In terms of RIP, we're talking about routers that pass through. In terms of OSPF, we can be talking about any number of other ways to determine time. And that the time got out there way too long. Now, echo request and echo reply. Those are the two big ones that you'll see quite often appear about ICMP. But if you do a ping, you're actually doing an echo request. An echo request just says we're sending out and we want to making a request that we want to get a reply back to. It's done in an echo line. If you go back and look in DOS, one of the things you could do, if you set up on an auto-exec batch file and stuff, if you wanted to allow it to put the stuff back onto the screen, you did an echo on. If you did not want it to be showing all the little lines going through that batch file that you had written there, you could do an echo off, and that it said, don't bounce what's happening back to the screen. But all we're doing is we're making a request that we get an echo back to us. So I can stand here and holler and see if we can bounce it off the glass in the back of the room, right? I've made an echo request to that glass at the back of the room. I made a request for my voice to come back at me, right? Does everybody follow on that? An echo request is just saying, we just want to find out, are you there? That's all you're doing with ping. You can ping the machine beside you to see, do you have connectivity there? You're making an echo request to that machine. And a ping can be a very simple thing of just ping and the actual IP address of that machine and send it. And it's going to send it out 4 times if I remember my number right. And then let you know, did it connect all 4 times and how quick did it connect? How's it going to do it? It made an echo request as far as what the type of message was that it sent across. What comes back when that machine gets it is it's going to do an echo reply. If you get the echo reply back, then that causes on your ping request to come up on the screen and tell you that you did get a reply and how quickly did it come back. If this does not come back in the amount of time, it's going to tell you that it did not connect, that you didn't get a reply back. So you're doing two different type messages with ping, doing an echo request and an echo reply. Now with the ping message, there's a lot of built-in defaults you can go with there, or you can expand on it. So you're going to be able to do a good bit of things with it. But we're going to talk about ping a little bit more when we get to chapter 10. And you can also, the last thing you can do with the ICMP that they mentioned there is that you can find out what routers are sitting out there available to you, and you can also advertise the routers that you've got that are surrounding you and that you are to send to the others. So you can make advertisements. All right. Questions on that part? We talked about on the transport layer that TCP and UDP are going to still be our protocols on that layer. So the same as we've already talked about. And then on the application layer, we have a number of protocols available there. And most of these are also going to follow either on the application layer of the OSI model or our presentation layer. So some of them that they talk about right here, and you ought to be aware of some of these you ought to be well aware of. HTTP, you ought to be well aware of that one. That's an application layer protocol. You use it to do your stuff on the World Wide Web or on your web pages. Secure Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which was S-HTTP, but you're not going to find it usually as that anymore. You're going to usually see it as HTTPS. And if you go to use that protocol, that's what you're going to use, is HTTPS. And when you're doing that, you're also going to see on your browser that the little lock is going to be locked down at the bottom to tell you you're on a secure page. Okay, you're dealing with encryption at that point when you're doing the secure. It's going to be HTTPS. Now, in most cases, you can make a request with HTTP. It's going to come back, and if you haven't told it to quit doing the little pop-up window